Hello everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel where I teach you how you can make this lovely beautiful two-piece set. So if you know this video is for you, stay tuned to the end. If you haven't subscribed, kindly please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video guys, always support me by liking and commenting on my videos, and also turn your notification bell on so you get notified each time I upload new videos. You already know I have a lot of videos regarding how to cut trousers, but this particular trouser is not like the previous one I've made on this channel. This is a wide leg pant trouser and it's straight. It has to be straight. So how you get it, you use the same formula, which is a vertical measurement. This is me here going down by 3 inches, which you're going to be removing before taking your normal length from your upper waistline downwards to the floor length wherever you want your trousers to stop. So that's is being said. So to get the wideness, remember this is on fold and it is the front panel now. So you take your hip line. This would be elastic band pant. So you take your hip line and then you add extra 5 inches to it, and then from the 3 inches upwards you take your crush line. The crush line I'm working with is 10 inches. Make sure it gets from your upper waistline to underneath your buttock. You understand me? And then you add extra inches to it. So I'll be adding extra 2.5 inches to my client's own, which is going to be serving as the crush line. And then from the upper waistline also I'll go down by 8.5 inches, which is going to be serving as the waist to the hip line. So this is all about the vertical measurement. I'm just going to be using 8.5 inches. If you're plus size, you can use 9 inches. From your upper waistline shouldn't be more than 8 to 9 inches. So this one I'm adding half of an inch to the 8 inches here is just because it is a free pant. This is a free pant, that is why it's not like other panties you're working with. And note the hip line the hip size I'm working with on this tutorial is 38 inches. So you know how wide this will become afterwards I'm making it. So it is not a fitted pant, it is a wide pant. So I will outline it clearly because I think this fabric is really giving me a tough time, showing the chalk I am using to outline on it. I just hope you understand where I am outlining on. So that is why I'm giving you a good explanation on what I am doing here. So I'll just add a bit of lighting to it, to my tripod stand, so you can see it clearly, the chalk. I hope you can see this better now. So I'll just continue explaining to you guys. So on this hip line, remember this is the hip line, this is the upper waistline. Now from the upper waistline I will start by taking the horizontal measurements each by each. You start from this 3 inches here, you add your hip line divided by 4, whatever it gives you, you outline it, and then you add extra 1 inches to it for ease. So I'll come down to this hip line and then I will outline the actual hip line. I will do the same thing and then I will add sewing allowance and ease to it. Note that on the hip line is where I am adding the sewing allowance, not on the waistline. On the waistline we already added the hip measurements, dividing it into 4, and then I added the ease, which is 1 inches extra. So on this side, the crush, which is on the crush line, that's where you take your thigh measurements. Just make sure whatever you are adding to it for on this crush line, which is the thigh measurement, it's excess by 1.5 inches to your hip line. Do you understand me? You know the hip we added almost 2.5 inches for both the ease and sewing allowance, and then you had another 1.5 inches on the crush line, which will serve as your as your thigh measurement, and then you connect all lines together just the way you see me doing it with my pattern master. If you don't have a pattern master, you just curve it from your hip directly to your crush depth. So that's all about it. Then on the upper waistline, remember this is the waistline, which is the crush line. You'll be going down by 1 inches and then you connect it straight like so as a slant to your side waist line. so it is as easy as it is. So now I'll start by cutting it up, because we are doing a measuring straight pants. Is not going to be curved or bent by the down part or on the side area, which we normally do to the rest of the pants I've made videos on. So this is just going to be cut straight by the side, just the way you did it. That is why I said you should make sure the your crush line is in shape, which is going to be straight on the side, and that is what you're going to be using as the wideness of the down part of your pants. I hope you understand what I just explained. So this is the back now. I've placed the front panel on the back panel now, just to cut it up. So what the difference is, you go down from the upper line by 2 inches. Remember, we took out 1 inches from the front panel from that upper waistline, so you add it up with 1 inches and then you place it on it like that, and make sure the down part is equal, which is the closing of your trouser from the down part, and also the side should be 1 inches wider. You can see the way I'm measuring it is 1 inches wider, while the upper side is 2 inches wider, while the crush line is 1.5 inches wider. I hope you understand that now. Now, remember I said this side will be 1 inches in excess. That is from the hip line. It will be 1 inches in excess. So you connect it from that hip line, you give it a slant upwards to meet up with the waistline, and then for the from the hip line downwards, it will be the same as the front panel. I hope you understand what I just said, and then I'll be outlining all lines now together. Just take note of the way I am measuring this. So from the upper side, you go down like so, using your pattern master to connect it downwards to meet up with your crush line. This is the back. You can see it's not that curvy. The way I'm doing it, the way I'm using the pattern master is not that curvy compared to the front own. So now I will just be cutting everything out. But before cutting it out, from this crush line downwards, you take 1 inches. Do you understand me? It's best you use your ruler to do this, because this your ruler is also 1 inches inside. So from that crush line, remember I said the crush line, the difference from the front panel is 1.5 inches, but make sure from that crush line you connect it down to meet up with your with the end of the pants by 1 inches using your tailor's ruler. So now I will start by cutting all shape out. So the upper side, you will just be connecting the 2 inches from that crush line to your actual waistline, the sides of your waistline, which is normal. You can see the way it is now. So this is just me explaining it again, all over again. So this is the 2 inches different from the crush line, and that is the 1.5 inches connecting it to the 1 inches downwards, and that will be all for that. So this is the front bodice now. It is on fold. This is into 4 and is on fold as well. So I'm just going to be cutting both the front and the back bodies together. And the first thing you need to do is taking your shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches, and then the 3 inches for the shoulder width, and then I'll go down from here by 1 inches, which is for the shoulder slope. I'll connect it now using my pattern master from that 3 inches to the 8 inches outline, using my pattern master and my chalk. I hope you all can see this. And then afterwards, the next thing I will do is taking it straight down to meet up with this side, which is going to be the excess of the sleeve I am making. So I'll go down here by 1 inches, 1 inches thereabouts, which is going to serve as the back neck depth. So now I'll go down from that slope there. I'll go down by 9 inches, which added with 1 inches to make it 10 inches for sewing allowance. So now from this angle here, from that 10 inches, you go by your bust measurement, dividing it into 4. After outlining it, I will then add extra 3 inches to it. So you can see the way I'm doing it. I will add 1 inches also for sewing allowance. After your bust measurement, you had your 1 inches for sewing allowance, and then you had extra 3 inches, just like a boo-boo, just like you're cutting a free bubble gown. So you do likewise to the down part, so you connect it afterwards. So this is me, I'm just connecting it with my pattern master, so it is, you know, clear and accurate before cutting it out. Then from the angle, from this angle here, I'll go out by the remnant of it, and then I'll curve it like so. You can see this is the under armhole now from the pattern I just made. This is the under armhole. You make sure you curve it, so by the time you're sewing it, it is well straight, it is straight. So now I'll cut this neck depth, which is the back neck depth first. That's the first thing you should do, and then you cut out the shoulder lines. You can see this is still on fold, so I'll just be cutting it and then I'll get back to it. After cutting that out, you make sure your sleeve length, the sleeve length you have, you'll be removing some inches, which is the inches already placed on this pattern, and then that will be all for the sleeve part. So for the front part now, the first thing you need to do is taking down where you want your opening to be. You know, it's something like a v-neck on the image, you can see that. So first thing I'll do, I'll add 2 inches to the 1 inches I did earlier, and then that is 3 inches in total for the neck depth itself for the front. This is the front panel now, as you can see. So I'll connect that, and then I'll also be slanting this part here. For doing that, remember I said it will be V. So you go down from that 3 inches, you go down by any inches of your choice you want it to get wider to, you understand, to be opened, and then you go down. Mine will be 6 inches, which is 9 inches in total, and then you go in by half of an inch, and you come up here by 1 inches, and then you connect it using your pattern master, as you can see me doing like this. So I will connect it now. So just note this, all this I am doing now is almost 9 inches in total, including, this includes the 3 inches and the one I am doing now. So you can see the way I turn on my tripod light, and you can see clearly now where I am cutting. So that is just it about the cutting of the neckline. I hope you understand it. If you do not understand, kindly go over it again, and please, if you haven't liked it, kindly please give it a thumbs up, like, comment and share this video with whoever you think needs it. You can see after opening it, you can see how it is. When you open it, it will be 1 inches at the down part and also 2 inches at the upper end before the neckline. Now I just noticed that I haven't gotten the length of the opening I'm in need of, so I'll just go down by some inches, which is 2 inches thereabout. So the thing is, if you need 10 inches long opening, you need to do 9 inches. So by the time you're done sewing it, you'll be left with 10 inches. So I'll just cut this out now and reopen it so it is clear. So this is almost 12 inches. I'll be notching this now by the sides of that 1 inches. Remember I went in by half of an inch, and that will make it 2 inches. So before doing this, the first thing you do is cut out 1 inches on each sides of this to make a palette. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So I will just cut this 1.5 inches on both sides, so it is well aligned from that V neck. That you can see the slants. So I'll go down with my chalk, and then I'll outline where I want the palette to stop. You make sure you go down very well before, you know, measuring it, so you know where to stop and where to start from. So I'll measure this now. I'll be cutting 2 palettes, so that is 1. So this is where the opening ends. I'll be cutting 1 short one and another long one. So anywhere you want the longer palette to stop is where you should take. So that is just it about it. I'll measure it now. This is the palette I'll be using, this is what I'll be using for the palette. So I'll just be measuring it. This is one, I need 1.5 inches to 2 inches thereabouts. So I'll do that now. I'll just be cutting it out and then we are good to go. Remember I said you're going to be cutting it in two, one short and one long. So whatever you're doing should be cut on fold. Do you get? So the long one will be on fold. If you're cutting inches, you're going to be cutting 2 inches on fold. So by the time you're done stitching, one side will be rough edges whereby you sew it on your dress, while the other side will be closed, and you'll be left with 1.5 inches afterwards. You've joined it in to your dress with half of an inch. So I'll be cutting one long one and one short one. So that will be all for this tutorial, and for the sewing part, stay tuned for the part 2 of this tutorial. You don't want to miss it, where I'll be showing you how you can get the lines, the necklines properly after sewing it, and also for the sleeve, where I'll be showing you the button clip, how to achieve it, which is what I am cutting now. You can see the way I'm cutting the sleeve. This is the sleeve I'm cutting. Remember, we've added some inches to the blouse, which we cut in form of boo-boo. So note the wideness of the sleeve is, the sleeve opening is 10 inches. You'll be cutting 11 inches for the sleeve opening, and then the length you'll be subtracting 2 or 1 inches from the sleeve length, so you can get an accurate sleeve length you've done. So you can see where I am outlining with my chalk. That is where the palette for the sleeve is going to start from. So guys, stay tuned for the part 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy it, kindly share it, like and comment. I love this tutorial to inspire me more. Thank you so much. Bye.